In this video, traders, we're going to look at the claim that technical analysis is useless. Stay tuned. Hey traders, a very warm welcome to you. Alright, so I'm super biased on this, so I might have to rein this in very slightly because I want to kind of put this out there objectively and get your guys' comments and thoughts on this. So I've been hearing all over the place, technical analysis is useless, it's voodoo, all these kind of things doesn't work, it's just trading random patterns, and people have tried to kind of support this argument by putting up a chart of say 10,000 coin tosses and show that it looks very similar to a stock chart because the random nature might get a lot of heads in a row, some tails, and you kind of see this up and down, and they go, oh look, there's double top and there's a head and shoulders and stuff, and you're trading random patterns. And they're just there to, you know, at the end of the day, what their motivation is, who knows why they're doing it. But the point is, there's a couple of points here. One is that if it doesn't work for you, doesn't mean it's not working. Fundamentals for me, no good. I'm not interested in the PE ratio. I'm not interested in earnings. Am I interested in how they potentially impact the market and the chart? Yes, I am. But I know that they work for some people. People who are running funds and investing for longer term and got all these investing strategies works very nicely for them. And I know that if my time frame was perhaps 5-10 years, then I wouldn't perhaps want to look solely at a chart. I want to bring in some fundamentals into it. I want to see if this company had feasibility to have an earnings cycle that was going to continue, it was going to grow, was going to produce a dividend. And I get that. It makes sense for that. And so you've got to be careful that you're listening to people who are saying something that supports their reasons internally. In other words, it doesn't work for them, so it doesn't work for anybody. So you've got to be careful of that, and that can make you a little bit annoyed if you like technical analysis, you like charting, you like price action, you like reading tape, whatever it may be. However, there is something to be said, because which is the whole point of the video really, is that I believe that many of them are looking at it through the wrong lens. Now listen guys, you know, if you've been around, you're subscribed to the channel, you know that my thing is that charting works under certain conditions, right? You can't look at a random market that's doing this and it's not chopping around and it's messing and there's maybe nothing going on. And in this little area here, you go, oh, look, I've got a little bear flag. That's not a genuine bear flag. The trouble is people who are looking at it purely go, yep, that's a bear flag. It's picked up, it's got all the criteria of a bear flag. It's got the pole, it's got the flag. It's a bear flag. And yes, if you isolated that on its own, it is a bear flag. However, everyone knows, all of you guys know, if you've been watching the videos for a reasonable amount of time, is that that's useless to us. Nobody cares about that. Nobody's affected by that. How is that different to something like this? Bang, we've broken through support and now we're flagging at lows, right? A hell of a lot different. That's a complete different scenario. That we would take all day, every day. That we're not interested in. However, the people who don't like technical analysis, people who think it's just a load of nonsense, are taking this and putting it in the same category as this. There's way more to it than just picking out chart patterns and going, oh look, you know, there's a head and shoulders within that. No, it's far more in depth than that. And listen, we're not going to try to overcomplicate it. I'm not trying to say this is some sort of PhD level stuff. But what I'm saying is, when people are picking out things and saying doesn't work, you're picking the wrong type of patterns in the wrong conditions. And it's all about looking at the bigger picture. And you could argue, if you wanted to kind of take the other side of it and say, well, fundamentals don't work. Look, the earnings per share on this specific earnings hasn't worked. It should be good and the price hasn't gone up. And they will say, well, no, you've got to look at the cycle. You've got to look at where it occurs. Is the earnings per share starting to lift up after a period of decline? In which case it could be a good buy over the next, you know, you can understand that. And so very often you get, you know, misunderstanding of what it's all about. And so guys, this video, you know, is just really to kind of say, listen, just be careful about, you know, if you want to go down the fundamental route, you go down the fundamental route. If that works for you and you find a methodology you want to follow, then go for it. If you want to go down the charting route, you go down the charting route. If you want to combine the two, you combine the two. If you want to discard your charting and just trade from order flow, you trade from order flow. What I do know is that there are people who are doing well trading every single one of those, and there's probably a a dozen more different styles out there. It's about finding your own style. It's about not listening to others. It's about finding the unique way in which that style works, in which case, like this, for example, you know, when you first go into technical analysis, you go, oh yeah, bear flag, but it doesn't work. Then you want to go deeper and deeper and start to understand supply, demand, all this kind of stuff. Then you start to think, well, actually, that makes sense because that's a much better position than that. These are the ones, this is irrelevant, even though the pattern's the same, it's not the pattern we're looking for. Then you start to go a little bit deeper and you realize, okay, there's something to this. I can structure this and make a strategy around it that works for me. And that's the key, guys. What works for you? So that's it for this video, guys. If you've got any comments, then stick them in the comment section below. Do you agree that technical analysis is complete nonsense? Or do you think that it has got some merit? Or do you think that you're not quite there, you're not quite convinced yet, you're sitting on the fence, you're like, you know what, I've tried it, it's not quite working for me, maybe I need to refine it, maybe I need to look at something else. Always interested to hear what you guys got to say. All right, guys, take care, and whatever method you're using, you know what you got to do, you got to keep your risk managed. Take care, I'll see you next one. Bye-bye.